Guys, it's a Crypto Sniper. We value shares. Please give us a share. We do no monetization on this channel for intentionally to make it a easy to use, fun and uninterrupted channel for you to watch. Okay, crypto. So first, just a very short backstory. This is going to be a short clip. Left shoulder, complex head. This was the 47,500 level that we identified. That was clearly key for us in the end. We looked at a couple other necklines, but those were the two big interactions with the necklines. This is your complex head. We teach about this, you know, in traditional technical analysis does diagrams. The map is never the territory. You need to understand how practically to deal with head and shoulders and how they occur. This all came out of marginally higher highs popping up along there. Showing that there was tiring and this grinding up buyers, dip buyers being trained to buy the dip. And you got the rising wedge that you see that I've drawn in there. We put our splitter through the middle and you got your throwdown. A little bit of continuation there that we expected, and then a squeeze where we said you would get a recovery. Then you had the next rising wedge, which was a spiller and a thriller that gave you your right shoulder, where that's your left shoulder, and this entire area here was your complex head. That's right. And that gave, you could see us interacting and trying to hold and then slowly letting go of and spilling and making the target just right, perfectly in the end for that head and shoulder dive. So that was a great short. Now, many people will say, oh, Bitcoin was a bear market. Generally trends where people don't specify it, we're talking about the big time frame. We are a macro bull market. Can I say to you, 2017, to the low, the eventual low of 2018 was over a year long. If we go and have a look at that, and that was from the high to the low. So if we go back, we remind you of a painful old winter. You'll see that that was an extended time frame. There's your final low around about 15th December. And by the way, you went sideways for ages. You only really had a proper move upside 2nd of April in 19. That was 17th of December. So you spent a whole year going from top to down. That is a bear market. That's a year-long bear market. You do not get, and that was 85%, you do not get a bear market that takes you from 65K, 14th of April. And for that matter, you could have taken even later, 10th of May, you were still at the 59, 60K level. 59, 10th of May, boom, into the low. 19th of May. You don't get a bear market in 9 days. What you do get is a violent correction, and that was indeed a violent correction. It was a very violent correction. In any other normal market, where traditional markets, they talk of 20% being a bear market from the highs. Not for the high volatility instrument that crypto is that a bear market. And in fact, your worst and fastest, most brutal corrections are in bull markets. It sounds totally counterintuitive. This is a bull market corrective event, a head and shoulder. Note, despite the violence and how hard you threw down, there was no overperformance. Some of you will say so far. We could be wrong with our bull message that we're going to reassert today. But as far as this point in time is concerned, that is your low. Very little overperformance from a trigger that occurred here, and here, and the smart in the rising wedge, or getting in on the return move of the rising wedge short to that time point and target. So that's the history of where we are at, and this is now the structure that we're in. Now let's talk about why we are upside orientated in our expectations. So I'm going to take you down to a lower time frame and pull this through a little bit so that you can see this in a bit more detail. Okay, so what do we need to understand? We need to understand a couple of things. First of all, typically in continuation patterns to the downside, we like to have pretty flat bottoms. Now, that was always a possibility because we failed to make marginally lower lows. In the same way, marginally higher highs was a topping out event for Bitcoin, and we eventually got the rising wedge that spat down. Then you got the bounce that gave you your right shoulder, and then that turned into a rising wedge that spat down, and then you had the head and shoulder structure that then finally triggered and ran its target. In the same way, it's better if you make marginally lower lows. So this kept you on red alert, the structure. Many people were saying, no, it's inverted head and shoulder, you'll be all right. It was on Ethereum. This point traded lower than that point on some of those alts. But the problem you have is Bitcoin determines directions of all crypto. Many people going such a token will lead. No, they might lead and go faster, further, but they don't actually lead. Bitcoin permissions them to go up. That's how it tends to work. So for direction of the overall crypto market, you've got to look at God market. Simple as that. And that's kind of what we've done. So what do I highlight for you? We gave you a number of reasons why this will go up. A, the COT indicator. I'm not referring to it anymore. You've got enough YouTubes. Go watch the two more before. We're doing some additional refinement on some of that. Major long call insider indicator. The 4 biggest sellers, that'll include miners, lots of other people, are not selling. They are not selling at these levels. They're coming down, 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 down in the open interest in selling. And they were going up, up, and up and on those marginally higher highs into 65. So they know, they are smart. It might be miners, it might be who knows who, insiders of some sort, very smart people, very wealthy. Remember something, guys. You get wealthier when you develop skills. You aren't going to fluke your way into millionairedom. Trading isn't like that. You don't gamble your way into money, because whatever got you there is what's also going to take it from you. You've got to develop skills. Grab a call, book below. It's going to save you potentially a fortune if you want to learn and develop skills. Plus, you get exactly what I'm thinking on an ongoing basis through media, voicemails, similar to this media plays. We call them jump shares throughout the day in terms of how we're seeing it. This is a critical moment for Bitcoin. People are positioned incorrectly. They're positioned for the next fall. They are all bearish. What do you have over here? So here's the reasons why we're bullish. Boom, volume by price, not tapping on the floor. In actual fact, model for a first upside, fib 100, this 0, 50%, bang on. There we go. Oh, hello, the biggest tower. Volume by price at the 50%. Oh, hang on a minute. We have a high 1, we have a relative high 2, and we have a third high 3 that I've tagged for you, 37,894. You've just triggered and run that. 35,666. Yes, there's your low. Where's our midpoint? 36,780. Oh, wow. That's on the volume by price line. And that's all on the 50 line. All 3 of those lines confluencing beautiful on the half. This isn't something looking for the trap door and banging on the floor below. In fairness, it's not clearly tapping on the ceiling either. It's symmetrical, but that's beautiful. It's beautiful for a number of reasons. There's a symmetry in here. Look at this neckline, 37,250. That was your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder. Did you make your target perfectly? Was there overperformance? No. Same as here. Same as here. It's corrective. It's not a new trend. There is no overperformance. What came out of that? Oh, that same neckline, you've touched it here, you've touched it here, you have a left shoulder, you have what we call the W, the complexity. As I said, the diagrams are not the territory. The maps are not the territory. You need to understand how to develop and recognize complexity in head and shoulder structures. Part of our advanced content that's recorded in our course materials. Interaction, first interaction with that line. What do you first do? A little fake break. That gives us our RH3. It's perfect. What did you then do? Fizzle. We need a proper shoulder. Where's that shoulder? There. Where did it support? Oh, that line. Where did that line, little blue line dash that's running through there come from? Oh, you mean that left shoulder, that head, and that right shoulder. Nearest logical round number 35,750, a number that nobody else but our HVF community had as a relevant number. Perfect floor for your right shoulder. Didn't run as low as your left shoulder. Great. What's then happening? Working your way up, working your way up. You've had a break right there. Feign and break, could do a little dip and revisit possibly. We had small time frame fractal on a 1 minute on our neckline of 37,250, that blue line. Guess what? That's the same neckline for the inverted, which is key levels of significance 101 HVF method. Nobody else is teaching you, as it is the same for that. This is where you can learn. You're learning something for free. Imagine what you could learn if you really wanted to learn. And this is the difference. This is a triggering event. So you've got your first interim, you've got a double, you've got a inverted head and shoulder target that's generated there. You've got that. You've got your second interim, and you've got a neckline for a macro head and shoulders sitting for you at 47,500 that you're going to run to the upside. You are going to take out key level of significance, just run that level before you have your first major rest. Listen, you could also have a small rest here, But on the bigger time frames, your biggest next rest is going to be after you've run the 48,121. Then you'll pull back a little bit. Of course, it was a neckline for a structural sell-off. You could then have a big second high, not quite as high as the previous high, the 65, and you could be setting up something even more interesting. We'll take it when it comes. When we get there, we'll have more information. Right now, you're in a feign and break and triggering event that has just happened here. You're hearing this later than all of my premium community. Guess what? There are going to be certain alts that are going to outperform in percentage terms what Bitcoin's about to do. How do you know how to check for that? Have you been looking at those very alts? Did you notice, by the way, that we did have a discussion with the community about doggy? Yes, I know it's not a legitimization of what it is. I think they're going to do something with that token. I told you it's like a shell company in a stock market. They're going to reverse something into it. You've got his elongated muskiness. This was a forerunner. Look at that structure. Boom. We called that in our community, and now you hear that Coinbase is listing it. Oh, it was the first of the runners. Wouldn't it be exactly how they would love it to be? That doggy is the lead dog, the fast one out the cages on the new run for the alt market. We expect 51 to be run. It's just run a cluster of levels in this push up, a little bit of a pullback. Maybe some of you will want to get back in it on a pullback, but you could have been in it a lot earlier. Over here, I am on an investment level. I missed getting some on a trade. I got an alert and everything was being alerted. Gold, silver, oil, uranium stocks, Plains All American stocks, pipeline stocks. This is a commodity bull trade, guys. How long do you think Bitcoin could be in a bear market? It's not. It's going to correct in a bull market. It's going to correct in a bull market. Silver is pushing through the $28. Gold has reversed, is pushing up. The commodity stocks are all running that we've put in. I'm looking at the options portfolio here. Up, up, up. Plains, all First Majestic, Uranium Energy Corp, all of them, Funect, Gold Juniors, is all up, 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 up. That's what's happening in the other parts of the world. How much longer should the new world order currency of blockchain and all the tokens that the central banking cartel are going to proliferate with expiry dates so that they can continue their shell game? How much longer can the crypto market? 55% in 1 month. And actually, if you take from the top of right shoulder, it's barely a week. That is a violent correction in a bull market. It is not a bear market. It is not a bear market. Yes, it's more than half. Of course it is. That's what you get with a high volatility instrument. Guess what's happening? The smart that gets strong when all the blood and bleeding hands are sitting on the sidelines will get more than double and more than triple even what they might have lost on the downside by getting in early at the right time and being aggressive within the constraints of money management on the reflation back up through 47.5. Never mind what the bull market brings to the future. Too many butthurt sore people calling second dips, further dips, and I think they're all going to be caught out here. So that's it. Bitcoin is looking great. It's going to be heading, in our view, back up. Could we be wrong? We absolutely can. We also had the COT indicator we gave you. We had the volume by price. We have the in-pattern technical analysis structure that we gave you. We even picked on the key level of significance, the 37,250. I will kid you not. You think price behavior is random. We even picked a 1 minute. I can take this right down to the 1 minute. That's 3 minutes. That's a 1 minute HVF. You call this random. The triggering event was just on that 37,250 mark line. We expected a rest here. We expected a rest here. Look at it and draw it with me. While everyone is talking how bearish it's going to be, we expected a rest here. You pull back. You did a nice little wind up squeezy structure. And then you have the main triggering event of the macro pattern that is here and a target. So this whole thing got you just to trigger. And now you far toss around. You could even come back and full. I would expect this little funnel level to be support. And the next time you go big. That's where we are at on crypto. Were you looking at a 1 minute chart? By the way, does that mean I endorse 1 minute chart trading? Absolutely not. When I am in an inverted head and shoulder and I already have my left with a key neckline, I have my W head and I have a small little push through that's given me my RH3 and I'm getting my right shoulder. Do I drop a time frame and look for a fractal as I am nudging up against a key level too right I do. And everyone else who's thinking about shorting is looking in the wrong direction as this is happening. We've been loading up on BTC, and we loaded up some more. We've been loading up on other alts that, as I say, in percentage terms could outperform. Not all of them, but others. So anyway, you have your heads up. What comes next? Maybe a pullback. I don't care. Got in earlier. But when it goes, it's going to go strong because tons of money are on the sideline. The COT indicator, the power of the COT. I also did the cycles indicator on Bitcoin. I'm not sure if I've got this quickly available. Let's just have a super quick, let's get an image. Cycles indicator for silver, for gold, for Bitcoin. Cycle turn. I shared this through the Twitter. Are you following us on @the_crypto_sniper? Are you following us on @the_market_sniper on all the 360-degree analysis of related markets? Cycle turn there. Cycle turn. You could already see the cycle was drifting off, and that's why you started to get a bit of a lean on your market there, and you had your spiller and your thriller into there. It's great. It clears out the dry wood upward trend starting on the 40 time frame cycle tool. Sorry, can't give you this. It's not mine to give. It's by special invite only, and I'm there with the guys. It's cycle analysis. It also turned for us. So you've triggered. You've got a target above 47.5. Are you still waiting? Good luck. Can we be wrong? Yes. Where would we accept we're wrong, by the way? This will be the first cautionary. If we were to run the 37,203, that would be a bit deep, but I'd allow it to come back to the axis level, no problem. If we ran that, the 35,666, the devil's number, that would start to be a little bit more of a concern for me. I've gone a bit too big a time frame. Let's go half hour. So 3566, that starts to become an invalidation of the upside first structure in a new trend. And as a result, I'd be concerned there. So these are the levels where we start a little bit of worry. I wouldn't do much there. I would certainly close the bulk of the position there. Do I expect it to do that? No, we're bullish. Should you chase in and smack the stack at market? You should generally never smack the stack at market. You should buy and look to buy always on limit orders, and you should have naturally stops. If you wanted to break in, you could use that as a stop. Personally, I don't think you're getting below there. That's 37,203. Take whatever dip you can get. If you could buy at the green line, that would be amazing. Not sure it'll give it to you. And then you hold all the way. Plus you could get overperformance, remember. So in terms of what we're doing and talking about here, this target will take you through the neckline. You'll blow off through that big resistance. It was actually a support level when it was the head and shoulders. That will be relative resistance, and you will take it out. You should take it out. So there were the points of support on it. First, in the beginning, you were just climbing up onto the ledge. You were squeezing up onto it with a rising wedge. You supported there. You had a little bit of a falling wedge through it there that you dipped through. Then you were back on top of it again. That's all support, 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 holding, just holdings, crashing, breaking, wind up, continuation, spiller, thriller, head and shoulder target made. That is your violent correction for half time. It's halftime oranges. For the Americans, that means you're sitting in the change room eating your orange quarters before running out for the second half. You were leading 2 or 3-0 up in the bull market, and then you got a rude awakening in the dying minutes. They scored 2 goals against you. You allowed them to come and take some of your profits. Guess what? You're still a bull market. You're still a good team. You're going out for second half. Being early and sharp in the early points is when you catch the easily recaptured ground, with all the other money sitting on the side, coming in later, pumping your bags. And that is my final word on Bitcoin and the cryptos. I'm not taking you into alts. I want this to be a short clip. If you want to find out more, book a call on the link below, and you can talk to why we are the best practical market, traditional technical analysts with HVF method that no traditional technical analyst has. So we bring in all the values of traditional technical analysis, and we've supplemented them far further with Hunt Volatility Funnel method, which is right now where we are and what we're looking at. As I've said, we can be wrong. There is always a level that we accept we're wrong. You've got it at 35,666. So we'll see how that turns out. Catch you later. Thanks for watching. Shares really appreciate it. So if you're enjoying the series, that we're doing here on crypto, jump in and give us a share. We appreciate it. Bye for now.